In the modern world, our digital identity is created the moment we are born. Our birth is logged into a database, so is our social security number, and our parents' names, address, and phone numbers. Before we can walk and talk, we have a digital profile. Your digital footprint is the data trace or trail left by your activity in the digital environment. It is the capturing in an electronic fashion of memories and moments in your life as you interact with your TV, mobile phone, internet, smartphone, debit card, credit card, library card, and much, much more. The simple fact that I use my debit card to buy this latte means that I added to my digital footprint. Data was added that shows exactly where I am on the planet, what time I was here, and what I ordered. Because there's a security camera in the parking lot, it's even possible to know that it was really me that used my debit card and how long I stayed here. I don't think anyone knows that I drink my latte with skim, but maybe that day isn't far away. You think I'm exaggerating? Let's look at my typical day. For breakfast, I had a bowl of cereal and checked the news on a free website. My surfing data was collected and a cookie placed on my laptop. I drove to work. My car, like almost all cars, stores my speed, braking strength, and seatbelt use were I to be in an accident. I wasn't in an accident, but I used a GPS to get directions to the coffee shop, so my location and time was collected. I got gas and paid with a debit card, so my time and amount of purchase was recorded. The security camera also captured my image. I used an HOV lane, so my RFID information was collected as I drove to the coffee shop. If I would have gone straight to an office, swiping my employee pass card or punching a time clock, it would have stored my information as well. I knew I would need cash for lunch, so I stopped at an ATM where my data and my image were captured. I went to lunch with my friend, and my image was once again captured on the parking lot security camera. I arrived here early, so I went online and wrote a book review, bought a new set of headphones at a superstore, and updated my movie queue. The online store I went to knows what pages I looked at before I bought the headphones. They'll use that information to target me for marketing or advertising the next time I visit. When you're surfing at a coffee shop or any public location, your computer's unique IP address, it's like your computer's social security number, is captured. You're susceptible to hackers whenever you're in a public location. I got a phone call when I walked into the coffee shop. My cell phone now has a log of what phone number called me. It was my mom. And how long we talked. How long she talked, actually. While I was here, I also got an email from a coworker that had a mistake in it. I made a note on the document and sent it back to her. That document has her name in its code and the changes that I made because I sent it to a work email account, which is monitored. As long as I was checking email, I replied to a friend who is a foreign exchange student. Did you know that all email outside of the United States is monitored by the NSA? When I get home from work tonight, I'm going to watch something I stored on TiVo. The shows I record and my preferences are stored so TiVo can make recommendations to me. Even very young people can have a very large digital footprint.
Well, I do have Facebook. I have MySpace. Because pretty much I'm on Facebook. And lately I've been going on Craigslist because I'm looking for a car. But
Well, I usually go to Facebook. That's probably the first thing that I do.
I'm in a band, and we have a MySpace.
Yeah, I probably go to YouTube too.
I'm in a leadership council, so I use email, just Gmail.
Posting pictures.
I'm in a play, so I need to check my email to get updates on schedule changes.
I'm on my computer almost all the time, which is kind of sad but true. I have a blog.
And I use the chat,
it's faster than texting.
I blog.
like school projects and stuff like that. If you can't get a hold of someone, if you don't have a phone number or something like that, if you know them on Facebook, then it's helpful.
Digital footprints are invisible. They provide data on what you've done, where you've been, and how long you've stayed. It's collected by the web, your phone, your credit and debit cards, and includes your location, your route or routines, and increasingly, who you're with, your social crowd. In conventional terms, Digital footprints are the digital cookie crumbs that we all leave when we use some form of digital service, application, appliance, object, or device, or in some cases as we pass through or by a location. This happens regardless of whether we are actually aware of it. We intuitively accept, when forced to think about it, that these traces exist. We somehow expect that over time, the waves will wash over the digital footprints to erase them like the ones on the beach. But they do not. Like everything on the web, digital data cannot be washed away. It remains forever, a permanent footprint. Computers are becoming more portable, and phones are becoming more like computers, with GPS, internet access, and cameras commonplace. But remember, anything digital can live forever. It used to be that photos went in a photo album. Now photos are lucky if they get printed at all. Many are shared electronically. Sometimes they are private photos. It's called sexting.
A lot of it's just, with camera phones nowadays, people will take nude pictures or whatever and send it to counterparts of the other gender, so stuff of that sort.
But I've seen things that have ended up on the internet when, they're underage, and it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't a good thing at all.
I definitely know people who've done that before. I know one girl sent her picture to someone, and it ended up being posted on the internet, even though she sent it to someone else's phone. And other people from the school found it, and it ended up ruining, not only her reputation, but also her relationships with people changed, and even hurt other people's relationships too.
I don't know. I think it's pretty common. I think people, that are at that state of sexuality, I guess you could say.
It was really, really bad. It ruined a lot of friendship with a lot of people because she actually sent it to one of her friend's boyfriends, and it was really very, very bad. And it caused the couple to break up, and it wasn't very pretty.
I mean, it's between the two people. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, if you want to go ahead and do that, it's all for it. But it's illegal now, so that makes it a little different. I mean, I'd just say, why?
But I think that's pretty terrible. Because you can get charged with child pornography and stuff like that if that happens to you. And people who even didn't want it or something like that, if it was just sent to them, can get in trouble.
Because it's like image, it's like a thing. It's obviously it could get passed along, and when you're in high school, it's the maturity level of it isn't at a level where if a girl sends a boy some naked picture, he's just gonna be oh, I'm gonna respect this girl for whatever this picture would mean if it got out. It's his friend might want to see that, so he told it about his friend. Now his friend wants to see it, so he's gonna show it to his friend, and that kind of thing. And then people hear about it and they want to see it or something if she's good looking or whatever, So it could just spread because when you send it out, it's just out of your hands.
In a national survey, 4% of teens ages 12 to 17 who own cell phones say they have sent sexually suggestive nude or nearly nude images of themselves to someone else via text messaging. 15% of cell-owning teens say they have received sexually suggestive nude or nearly nude images of someone they know. Older teens are much more likely to send and receive these images, with 8% of 17-year-olds sending a sexually provocative image by text and 30% receiving a nude or nearly nude image on their phone. Teens who pay their own phone bills are more likely to send a sext. There are 3 main sexting scenarios. One is the exchange of images solely between 2 romantic partners. A second is an exchange between sexual partners that is shared with others outside the relationship. A third is an exchange between people who are not in a relationship, but at least one of whom hopes to be. Any of these scenarios can result in a photo ending up where it was never intended to be. Just last week, 3 teenage girls sent nude or semi-nude cell phone pictures of themselves to 3 male classmates. The 3 boys were somehow caught and have been charged with child pornography. because the girls are under the age of 18. It could, sadly, end up becoming very public. It could have tragic consequences. The image was blurred and the voice distorted, but the words spoken by a young Ohio woman are haunting. She had sent nude pictures of herself to a boyfriend. When they broke up, he sent them to other high school girls. The other girls were harassing her, calling her a slut and a whore. She was miserable and depressed, afraid even to go to school. And now Jessie Logan was going on a Cincinnati television station to tell her story. Her purpose was simple. I just want to make sure no one else will have to go through this again. The interview was in May 2008. 2 months later, Jessica Logan hanged herself in her bedroom. She was 18. 44% of boys say that they've seen sexual images of girls in their school, and about 15% of them are sharing those images when they break up with the girls. This is not the kind of digital footprint you'd like to have permanently attached to your identity for viewing by not only your school, but your family and potential employers. It's a crime that can have tragic consequences. It's unrealistic to think that students won't have social networking pages or buy products and services online and trust their friends, but you can't be smart about it. Avoid using your full real name, your real address, and your real job location. Your friends can find you, but so can a stalker. And never post your date of birth, social security number, or driver's license number. Also, don't chat or IM with anyone you don't know in real life. Don't post your landline phone number because reverse lookup is way too easy. For that matter, don't post your email or blog addresses either. And remember that photos on the web live forever.
Well, I knew this girl who got drunk, and she did some things and people filmed it, and it got posted on the internet and it got sent out and stuff, and it basically, people's opinions about her changed a lot.
A lot of kids who had put pictures up of them at a party drinking, and apparently one of the parents saw that and they got in a lot of trouble. In fact, one of them, I think she was like going to Harvard or something. She lost her scholarship, so she couldn't even go to college. I mean, where she wanted to go.
And she lost a lot of trust with a lot of people, and she's had to build that up, and she's gotten really far. So
They had said they were going to come to school and like harm a teacher, like with a gun or something. Like I
don't know. I have a lot of friends who've put some status updates that their parents saw, and like lots of kids that are at school will be, after school, will be like smoking cigarettes, or they'll be, I mean, some kids will be like involved in like drug use, and sometimes they'll like post that stuff on their wall.
I do know one of my friends once got in trouble. They had a picture of them smoking on Facebook, and I guess they didn't realize that people can view your profile even if they're not your friend. And someone's parents saw it and alerted their parents, and they got in trouble for that.
An inappropriate social networking page can ruin your ability to rent an apartment when it's time to leave home. Since 9/11, everyone does background checks. Bad language and bad photos can harm your ability to get a good job. You can get in trouble and lose trust with your parents and family members. You can damage your dating relationships if you've got images of your old relationships and behavior posted on your social networking page. Your photos and personal information can be exposing you to dangerous people like pedophiles and stalkers. You can harm your chance of getting into the college of your choice or obtaining a scholarship. You're opening yourself up to identity theft and a loss of privacy. And consider this. Would you want your first real boss or future in-laws to view the remnants of your spring break escapades or that 4th of July party? I don't think so. Do yourself a favor and keep your digital footprint and digital shadow small and clean. Your digital footprint is everything on the internet that's about you. This could include your profile on Facebook or MySpace, photos that you and your friends and family have posted online, as well as anything you have ever written on discussion boards, blogs, or anywhere else. Other people, including potential employers, will be aware of your digital footprint, even if you aren't. The first step to putting your best digital foot forward or cleaning up your digital footprint is to uncover it. Go take a look at what others could see about you.
I just found my Facebook profile. That was it. I don't have anything else out there, so.
I have a blog, and I use Facebook just like probably every teen out there.
People, send me messages or post stuff on my wall. I respond. Yeah, I have a lot of my family on there too, so it's kind of funny. So that's how they keep in touch sometimes.
On your account settings on your Facebook, you can make your page private and only viewable to certain people you know.
If they seem not like a very good person, then I don't add them, and I just ignore them basically.
If there's pictures that I don't specifically want people of, different areas of my life to see, I'll untag myself from the picture.
I don't really put any information where I live and stuff.
So no one can see anything on my wall unless they're my friend. And I've done that with MySpace and Facebook because I don't want other people looking at my stuff if I don't know them. So.
And I make sure that I don't post anything I wouldn't want my parents to see, basically. So I pretty much judge everything I do by that.
I mean, don't be stupid. Use common sense.
As an experiment, I took a look at the producer for this program. It's amazing what I found. I found a Facebook page, a professional bio from an organizational membership, a phone directory, a book review written 10 years ago, political contributions, and other information. Even as a teenager, you'd be amazed at how large your digital footprint could be. Your soccer team roster with your name and address could be posted. Your comment to a band member's blog could still be there. Photos from an instant camera could still be on the developer's site. And if someone identified you in a photo on their social networking page, that could be public information as well. In a Pew Research survey, it was found that 47% of people have searched their name, but only 3% of those say they do it on a regular basis. 74% of those who have searched their name say they have only done it once or twice. So, how can you keep an eye on your footprint? Good question. Use Google or other search engines and search for yourself. Make sure you continue to research yourself regularly so that you know what others will find. You might not have added anything new, but your friends or family might have. So the first step is to discover your existing digital footprint. When you find something that you don't want others to see, you can contact the site's owner about potentially deleting the information. It will still live on the internet as a cached file, but it will be much harder for the average user to access. The second step is to take advantage of digital footprints. You can use the internet to create an up-to-date, positive online presence that showcases your talents, experience, and interests. Create a profile on a professional social networking site, such as LinkedIn. Make sure you keep this profile up to date. You can further enhance your digital footprint by commenting on blogs, news articles, and discussions. Remember the producer's book review? You can do that too. You can even write your own blog. Creating an up-to-date, positive online presence will also help hide any earlier, less desirable content about you. Most internet searchers, like employers and colleges, don't look beyond the top few results. And remember, you can search too. When you're applying for a job, don't forget to look at the professionals' networking sites to check out the employer's digital footprint. If the employer hasn't paid their taxes or has a history of sexual harassment, that could show up on the internet. That might be information you'd want to know. The third step is to manage your social digital footprint. If you use social networking sites such as Facebook, or regularly post photos, videos, blog comments, etc. online, it is important that you manage this carefully, as a lot of information stored online will be public by default. Don't include anything in your public profile that you might find embarrassing later or wouldn't want your future bosses or parents to see. If in doubt, keep it private or don't put it online. Change the privacy settings on your social networking sites so that only your friends can see your information. Clearly separate your personal and public online profiles. Consider using a different name or nickname for your private social profile. Once information has been posted online, it can become almost impossible to remove because of archiving and file sharing. Even if you deactivate your social networking account, the information may still be held in the system and be accessible to others. You should also take care with other aspects of your personal profile. Don't use inappropriate personal email addresses like sixpackabs@yahoo.com or twinkletoes@hotmail.com. Make sure your mobile phone voicemail is something your parents or potential employer wouldn't find objectionable. A first career impression counts, and you may not get a second chance. And those are the 3 big steps to putting your best digital foot forward. Step 1, discover your digital footprint. Step 2, add positive footprints. Step 3, manage your social footprint. If you do those 3 things, you will have gone a long way to cleaning up your digital footprint so your online presence can work for you and not against you.